hot off the presses. Grab your exclusive merch at the Viral Hip Hop Shop. Protect your inner G at all costs. And you tired of all these self-proclaimed goats? Well, be a goat killer exclusively at the Viral Hip Hop Shop. Link in the description. Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Hit me, Sam Ant, at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam Ant, Viral Hip Hop News. We're in the building for another edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. We got a special guest in the building once again. Oh God,
yeah.
On the podcast today, we got the beautiful Miss Angela Means on the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm really good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
A pleasure is all ours. Like we said early on, definitely happy to have you on. On a somber note, it seems like every time we look at Friday and we talk getting the conversation about a reboot going, another one of the legendary members passed away. We lost Tiny Lister a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you sat beside him. How are you feeling with the loss of Mr. Lister right now?
It's unreal. It's so unreal because he was a big life. He was a big life, and he was a big part of the Friday franchise. He was an important element of the Friday franchise. I believe that the character that he brought to life was part of why it's why the project is legendary and a cult classic. He had so much to do with that. I said I wasn't gonna cry, and as soon as you started, I started crying.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Take your time.
Definitely.
No, it's fine. It's it's life. The last time I was with Tiny, we were traveling. We were doing a signing, and we had a really great time, and he was really good to me, and we left on such a beautiful note, and I knew that he cared about me a great deal, and he always told me, "I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you." He mentioned Cube's name like every 5 words. It was, me and Cube be talking. You know me and Cube be talking, and you my girl. So, when I do something, you do something. And Michael Tiny, I'm not really an actor any longer. I'm a chef, and I heal people. And I begged him to come and see me. I'm trained to see certain things in people. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your symptoms. Symptoms are a good thing. And what happens with medication is medication masks symptoms that you should view. And symptoms tell you something's wrong. And it's telling you to clean everything out. And when I saw Tiny, he had all of the symptoms, he had all of the signs, and I begged him. And it's so funny. The night I was called and told about it, I made this rant video that I'm glad I didn't post. But I was a little angry. Because he was so important to our community. He was important to me. He was important to every cast member that he's ever worked with. Everyone had such a love for him, and he had so much more to offer. And the fact that I couldn't get through to him, and I've helped so many people, and I couldn't help someone that was so important, and it was devastating. And I was angry that night. I was so angry because we don't have to die. And of those all disease comes from the end of your fork. And when you change your diet, you change your life. If we can all hold Dr. Sebi in higher regards, and if we all just listen to him, particularly people of color, particularly people with melanin, you have to listen to Dr. Sebi. Nick Cannon has the has a documentary coming. He picked up where Nip left off on that documentary. But if we are to survive, we have to change our diet. And once we do, we'll survive as a group, and things will become much clearer. 2020, the year 2020 was about vision and about seeing things, and we see that we have to heal. I know you guys have been hearing that word left and right: heal, heal, heal. And 2020 allowed us to see that. So hopefully 2021, Jackfruit Cafe, that's the name of my company, Jackfruit Cafe. And we've done so many good things. I can't make claims. I don't want them coming after me, but I can tell you a lot of people are not sick because of the work that we do. Me in particular. I'm a farm girl. And I just went back to my roots when my son went to school at the University of Miami, and he's actually the all-time leading passer at the U. He quarterbacked from his freshman year through his junior year. And when he went to school, my body started getting I won't say disease, dis-ease. And I had all the symptoms. I had all of the things, and I knew I couldn't do this kid like this. He was on the other side of the country. I'm his only mom. We're close, and I couldn't get sick while he was doing his thing. So I just went back to my roots of fruits and vegetables, and it's like a miracle. Fruits and vegetables are like a miracle, but it's what God gave us. It's the reason they're sweet, because it's like God's candy. And when you eat fruit, you gorge on fruits and smoothies in the morning, your day is just can't nothing phase you. Can't nothing phase you. When you get to a certain point, nothing will phase you. And you clean your body out. If that studio you're sitting in, if no one ever cleaned the outside, inside of it, they only clean the outside. They never clean the inside. It's gonna be a hot ass mess up in there. And then somebody's gonna come, some savage is going to come and say, all that stuff in there, all that mold, oh, you got cancer all in here. Oh, look, all this bacteria. We're going to shoot it with some fire. You're like, wait a minute, you're going to burn the studio up. No, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We do this all the time. So they shoot it with the radiation fire and they burn your shit up. And then they say, you burnt my studio up. Y'all burnt my studio up. No. That was the cancer that was in there that burnt your studio up. So we're sorry. Move on to the next studio to burn up.
Right.
So if we just go back to what God gave us, berries and melon. And I just kept telling Tiny, okay, don't come see me, but just gorge on melons. If you're sick, gorge on melons. People say, oh, there's sugar. It's completely different than processed sugar. Yeah. Processed sugar is no good. Natural sugar is your energy. God made it sweet so you would eat it. God didn't make mistakes. And when people tell you fruit is bad, there's too much sugar, that's coming from mainstream. That's coming from mainstream. I'm living proof that berries will cure you. Melons will cure you. Heal you. I'm making claims. I can get in trouble for it.
That's great information. Definitely resonating. We're both of us sitting here. I want you to go in a little more, if you can, for our audience. Who was Mr. Lister? What type of man was he? Because we often just see him, as the bully or the big imposing man. But who was he? Like, what was his demeanor like? What was it like being around Mr. Lister?
Be smiling at them, just thinking about being in his company.
I would go.
And I remember the first time I met him, and he was the heavy. He was the bad guy. But when I first met him, my heart was just like, oh my God, he's so sweet. He was so sweet. He was just like this big, he was just, I'm a big girl. So whenever he gave me a hug, it was cozy, it was comfy. He gave the best hugs. He had the warmest smile and the warmest demeanor. He was a great actor because all that shit he used to do was an act. And he was a great actor, but he was a warm, caring individual. Whenever we saw one another, his thing was, how's the family? How's your son? He cared. He was just warm. He was just a warm, sweet thing. The first time we really kind of interacted, I was MC at a very famous comedy club where a lot of the Black comedians started in Atlanta, called the Comedy Act Theater. It was a hot night. It was hot. And I was hot and I was rolling. I was feeling myself. And I had already roasted half the audience. And here come Tiny trying to heckle me, right? So I didn't know his shtick. And he would come to the Comedy Act Theater in LA and intimidate the comics. And he would get on stage. He would like come on stage. I had no idea.
Dang.
So this big motherfucker come to the stage. I'm standing there like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. I'm like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm not. This big ass motherfucker put his hands on my throat. Now we're on stage, and I'm still performing, and I still got to keep this show going.
Right.
And I'm like. So I the first time I really look in his face, I'm like, this nigga look crazy. Where's security? Because I'm like, is this motherfucker playing? Y'all got him. Look, I'm holding the mic, and I mean, and everyone's cracking up because I am aware of pop culture, but I really wasn't aware of his shtick, and that it was. But I was like, so. I looked in his face and I was just like, God damn. I like ugly niggers, but God damn, nigga. What's wrong with your eyes? The more I talked, the more he was squeezing my throat. I was like, if somebody don't come get this motherfucker. Then I made him laugh. And that broke the ice. He was laughing. He goes, "You funny motherfucker." I was like, "Get your ass off my stage." All right, y'all, coming to the stage. And then afterwards, 3 years later, I played his leading lady. Felicia was his leading lady. Look, I'm still holding the microphone.
Still on that jump.
And when I got the job, it was he told me he was holding court one day. He was a big man with a big presence, and he liked to hold court. He liked to talk, and he liked to talk about God, and he liked to talk about good things, and he liked to encourage people, and he liked to leave gems and nuggets and tell people they're going to be okay.
Right.
And I remember walking up, and he was holding court one day, and he literally told me that I was at that time that I was the funniest female that he enjoyed watching on stage, and that it meant a lot once I really realized who he was and what he meant to not just our culture. Like, WWE ain't no joke. Those are, I mean, they're like Friday fans. They're everywhere. So, he left such a Debo. We all made the script was perfect. It was a perfect script.
Mm-hmm.
It had character arcs. The characters were all defined. It was. I do have to take this call. I'm sorry.
No, do you think?
Sophie, is everything okay?
Yes, I'm sorry about it.
Better hear. But yeah, man, we here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. She probably should have muted herself, but it's all good, man. We getting it in with Angela Means. I think she's back now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was the kitchen. So Debo is not. It's a pronoun. It's a noun, It's a verb. I use it in when I talk about the digestive system. The itis is literally Debo. So the digestive system, when you overeat and when you eat things that you're not supposed to eat, the digestive system's trying to digest it, but it can't because you're not supposed to eat it and it doesn't have enough energy. Your whole body is just energy. So what your digestive system has to do is it has to go Debo to heart. Give me some of that energy, punk. So now the heart is just like, oh shoot, here, take the shit. So now it's not enough. It's not enough energy to grind shit you're not supposed to eat. So now the digestive system is like, shit, brain, give me some of that energy. And it's like, oh shit, take it. So now we sitting up there half sleepy. We calling it the itis. We laughing and we that close from a heart attack because the digestive system has deboed all the energy in your body to digest some dead animal, some decomposing flesh. So Debo he's part of American lexicon. And it was because of how Tiny Lister portrayed him. I don't think anybody else could have done that. Like being a heavy was something that he really, really enjoyed. He set out to
Hey, so let's talk about Friday because it was such a magical movie. And you talked about Tiny Lister's role as Debo, but your role as Felicia, it was just as iconic. It maybe not have went along with Friday After Next, and I know Debo didn't take his role into next Friday and then Friday After Next. But in that movie, legendary role, talk about that. How did you fall into the role of Felicia?
Well, I had a list when I got to Los Angeles from Atlanta. And I had modeled all up and down the East Coast. I did I was grateful and honored to work with a lot of designers and do a lot of big shows, stateside. And I had a list and I did everything on my list. I was a series regular. I'm the mom in Cousin Skeeter, which is an iconic project in its own. It's the first and only Black live action puppet show. So we were groundbreaking in that with Megan Good, Bill Bellamy, Robert Rashad, and myself, and Rondell Sheridan. So I was a series regular. I did global ads. I did global media. I guest starred. I was a guest star on a drama. And one of the last things that I wanted to do was an interesting character. And when I read the script, the script just came over like a regular script. And my agent knew that I was looking for different things. I wanted everything to be different. The mom from Cousin Skeeter is completely different from Felicia. I'm the leading lady from House Party 3. Yep. She's completely different from Kid's girlfriend. So when it came and I read it, I was like, I'm Felicia. I'm Felicia. I'm Felicia. I know this girl. And I want to create her. And I did. I put so much stuff. I wish I still had the bio. I knew that the project was going to be great. Prior to Friday, my favorite film was Uptown Saturday Night. And it's interesting that Friday and Saturday. But my favorite film was Uptown Saturday Night. And I never thought anything would eclipse it. And I kind of feel like, Cube and Pooh, the writers, had the energy, wanted to capture the energy from Uptown Saturday Night. Because it's very, very, very close. And when I read the script, it was right in the middle of the 90s in Los Angeles. And we were getting such a bad rap here in Los Angeles. Like all Black people was running around capping each other and rat-a-tat-tatting and putting each other on their backs. And it just wasn't the case. There was a beautiful life for Black America in the hood. And that's what Friday captured. It showed another side of what the media was showing about Black Los Angeles, Black LA life. And yeah, there was the gang element, but there was also these very real people. And when I read it, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, y'all. So I went in and I did a lot of work. I did a lot of internal work. I became that bitch.
Yeah.
I was her. And I was working a little bit differently than everyone else. Like I said, I wrote a bio. I wouldn't shower for days. Felicia wasn't a crackhead, but she'd smoke up your weed.
Yeah.
Felicia smoked your whole sack if you let her. And something else too. Felicia wasn't a thief, and Debo knew that Felicia wasn't a thief. Debo had anger issues. He had childhood trauma that he was dealing with. He was bullied. You know, his father was a big man, and this was in my bio, and this was why.
Wow.
And I had the way that I was working, the technique that I was using. I had to find something in Tiny Lister to fall in love with. I had to really, really feel love. I had to really feel it. And every character, like I was completely in love with Kid in House Party 3. Angela Means was completely, utterly in love with Kid. I mean, once the project was over, it was over. But love, where does love go? Does it really go anywhere? And it never left. It never left. I mean, I love Kid. I love, the men that I was opposite. I found something in Rondell Sheraton to fall madly in love with, enough to marry. So I found something in Tiny to have a character, to play a character that would take that much abuse. Because in my world, Debo and Felicia are still together. And they made it. And Debo was not the man that jumped from woman to woman. That wasn't him. He was a bully, but he wasn't a womanizer. He was abusive to me the whole time until our sons became of age. And they put him in his place. And after Debo and I birthed an entire defensive line.
Whoa.
He kept me pregnant for 13 years. And I'm a very wealthy woman now. So, and he ain't put his hands on me in 20 years. You feel me? Because all our babies' names start with D. You got DeMichael, D-Ray, DeAndre. You got, they let Debo come in here and look at me crazy. Them niggas gonna wear him out. So, yeah, we made it. But we made it by the grace of God. I love him and I love our family. And we about it.
So let me ask you this, Ms. Means. So so what we saw on Friday was the comedy. We saw obviously you and Debo laying in the bed, dirty draws and all that shit, the funny stuff. But you're talking about something way more dynamic. So was there anything as far as taping was concerned that we may not have seen as fans that made the character of Felicia and the character of Debo a little more dynamic? So we saw some of that?
No. This was just all the stuff that I had put into my bio, into Felicia's bio. So with the way that I was working, I created a character because the only thing that was on the page, Felicia loved this man so much that she was going around the neighborhood borrowing shit to keep him from stealing it.
Yeah. So that's why
he had been casing their crib for a minute. So I went over there, and when you see me, when I say yeah, and I want to say, well, you either gonna give it to me or Debo gonna come take the motherfucker. So which one is it? So that's what was in all that stuff was in the bio. So that's what was motivating me as an actor. That's where I was coming from. Everything that I created in my bio. And God, I wish I still had that bio, because I swear to God, I will auction that motherfucker off right now.
I get a couple of dollars.
Because everybody seemed like everybody coming up off of the bio for me. But the dynamic was Felicia was a pivotal character who was meant to be laughed at. And I knew that when I read it. So I talked with my coach. My husband at the time was a writer who was brilliant. And when he read the script, he said, "Yeah, do it. It has a clear beginning, middle, and end. The characters arc well." And on my wish list when I got to Los Angeles, like I said, one of the things that I wanted to do was an interesting character. And and when I read it, I was like, "Oh my God, that's my interesting character." And then the last thing on my list was Mom, and I was 5 months pregnant at the Friday premiere. Wow. So make yourself a list. Believe in your list. Have faith in your list. Make a list from your heart, not from you're competing with somebody else. This is how you find your joy, and you can get to. I was able to walk away from it somewhat at the top of everything. I was able to walk away and go home and raise my son and be at home with him because I had done everything in my heart, and I wasn't competing with anyone. I didn't need the validation. I had done it all. I had done everything I wanted to do. And now my greatest job is Mom. And my greatest accomplishment in life is my son is 25 years old. He's never had a cavity.
That's dope.
That's my greatest accomplishment. So the set and the dynamic between Tiny and I was created in the bio that I wrote, and he was getting off. He was getting off just being the heavy and doing what he loved to do, and we all were just having a great time watching Chris Tucker. Mm-hmm. Chris Tucker on that set. The filming of it could be a movie. Mm-hmm. The filming of it, and had they just captured all of that, it would have been a movie. Like, we literally had to all during the thing, and then as soon as Gary called cut, we were all just like, "Oh my God, you know what he said? He said, no, don't do that. Oh my God. And some of us would just come to the set just to be entertained, even when we weren't we're supposed to be on the set. He was that much fun. He was that dynamic. He initially was I know that Cube wrote Smokey for him after seeing him on stage at the Comedy Store. Oh. And when he went in and read, he didn't do so well, and they sent him away. And he left out of there, and he called me, and he said, I messed up my audition. And everyone else, we were a crew. Me, him, Faison, AJ Johnson. We had all already had our jobs. Def Jam the movie. That's what Friday was. Basically, was Def Jam the movie. And Chris was the last one to book and get his contract. So he was like, "I need your coach." I was like, "Man, get your ass over here. No, you don't need no coach. They want you. Stop playing." So he came over. I called Faison. Said, "Faison, get over here. Chris is tripping. We got to help him." So he comes over, and I told him, I said, "Bring your sides." And the sides are just the audition pages. Okay. So he came over, and I put on a pot of spaghetti, and when that pot of spaghetti was gone, he left out of my apartment. He was Smokey.
Ready to go.
He was Smokey, yeah. And Faison and I. Sorry. Didn't I say I was gonna cry? I was like, I'm not gonna cry.
We're sorry.
Faison and I got Nellie to sell
Oh wow.
to Robert Townsend. Faison and I have been angels and vilified too. We're some vilified angels.
Huh?
But we've graciously helped so many people. Nellie performed in a play that I wrote, and I casted her. And she was magnificent. She brought it to life. She brought it. And Faison came, and when he saw her, he was like, Robert's casting this Baps thing. She perfect. She is. I'm telling you, she perfect. I'm like, if you think that she can, I know that she can. I know that she can. Particularly if you have a talent like Halle Berry. The project's already greenlit. It's already, it needs someone like Natalie. So that night, he took her to Robert's residence, and the rest is history.
Wow.
That's powerful. And another, iconic figure we have him back on the walls, John Witherspoon. We have the from Friday here. And when they, his character on there is pretty much Ice Cube's dad, but he was kind of telling him that, the iconic, that you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Can you talk about, working with him and the meaning of his character on Friday?
He's a fellow Michigander. I was born in New York, but I was raised in Michigan.
Okay.
So there was familiarity, like David Allen Greer. He's from Detroit as well, and so when you're in their presence, you feel that familiar. When someone's from the same town, you feel home. You feel like home, and that's what he was so comforting to me always. His wife's name is Angela.
Oh wow.
And always a beautiful mentor, a beautiful presence. Watching him work was entertaining. As he was an actor. He was a comic. I'm sorry. I don't even know what you asked me. I'm lost. I'm sorry.
I was just asking, what it was. You already kind of answering it, but what it was like to be around Mr. Witherspoon, and how was he? That type of thing.
He's just a beautiful, genuine soul. Him, Sinbad's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Please pray for my big brother. Please pray for Sinbad, y'all. Please pray for Sinbad. You don't know how good Sinbad is. Yeah. He's so good. Him, John, Tiny, Ronaldo Ray, Bernie.
Yeah.
I played Bernie's wife in his first pilot that didn't get picked up. It was called me and Faison. Faison played his brother. It's called Pearl's Place to Play. And Adele Givens was his ex-wife. And they were all, the good die young.
That show sounds crazy. That you said that was a pilot for that, but it didn't get picked up?
It didn't get picked up. It was Ralph Farquhar, Stan Lathan, the legends. You don't know these names, but Stan Lathan is just as much a legend as an Ice Cube, as a Chris Tucker, as a Dave Chappelle. He just won his first Emmy. He has brought and made so many of us. He created so many avenues for Black talent. I'm so sorry. I keep getting lost because I just can't believe that I'm sitting here and Tiny's not here anymore. It's still so new. And Bernie and Ronaldo Ray. Ronaldo Ray played my father in House Party 3, one of the best dinner scenes in cinematic history.
He's
House
hilarious.
Party 3 is one of the best. And Eric Meza, the director of that project, said, I want this to be the funniest scene that people have ever seen. And he let Ronaldo Ray and Bernie Mac, who also was in the Friday project with me, Faison. We were just going from project to project. It was the 90s was lightning in a bottle for us. It was lightning in a bottle. That's the way I always describe where we were. We had In Living Color, we had Martin, we had Def Jam.
Yes.
And I was so blessed. I was right in the middle of all that shit. I was right in the middle of it. I guest starred on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And now I'm a vegan chef. And I knew then that comedy was medicine, but I know now that food is the real medicine and medicine is the real food.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your restaurant, Jackfruit Cafe. I've been a vegan for 4 years now. So when you started talking about it, I was excited. I was like, we got to get through some stuff so I could talk about this vegan stuff right here. Jackfruit Cafe. I'm very excited to hear about that. Talk about it. Talk about its birth. Talk about how you came up with the idea, created the idea. I'll make a pretty mean vegan jackfruit spare rib and a couple things. Shit with my stuff. My son loved it. But I want to hear your creation. I can't wait.
It was all God. It was all God. It was all the universe. I somewhat describe myself as Forrest Gump. I just keep going, and I keep landing in places where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be in the vegan space because of how many people I've helped. I've helped quite a few people. My life is in service to others. So that's my why. And that's why I opened Jackfruit Cafe. I was a shareholder in a juice bar in Burbank, California, and the partners didn't want to do food. And I just thought it was ridiculous. People are coming in here. They don't, the juice cleansers are one thing, but we have to be able to offer people food.
Yeah.
And one day a young lady came in, a film student came in, and she said, hey, I had some jackfruit tacos the other day. And the minute she said jackfruit tacos, I was like, that's what I've been looking for. I had no idea what jackfruit was. I knew nothing. And I immediately picked up my phone. I Googled jackfruit tacos, and I was like, that's it. That's how I'm going to serve the world. And I went and I ordered some jackfruit, and I started messing around with it. And we were juice bar, so we didn't have an exhaust hood, so I couldn't cook. But I did a crock pot. I did jackfruit chili, and it was flying out. And so then the partners proposed to sell the juice bar, and I left. And I opened Jackfruit Cafe in the hood in a donut shop on Crenshaw. I was a mile from Nipsey's place, about a mile from Nipsey's place. And I knew that Felicia had given me a voice to take home to help our people.
Yeah.
And I knew that, okay, this is why it came back. I was like, why is Felicia coming back? Because that was, it was 25 years ago. Why, Angie? Why, Angie? Oh, by flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you have a voice now, and you're famous. So you got some good information for people, and you can help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Crenshaw. I went to the neighborhood that supported me, the Comedy Act Theater, where the Comedy Act Theater was. So I went with a friend. She was playing her numbers. She was going to get her numbers at this donut shop in the hood where it'd be a line out the door to play your numbers. And they had a kitchen in there. Wasn't nobody using the kitchen. So what y'all doing with that kitchen? Don't you worry about that kitchen. I was like, no, seriously, what y'all doing with that kitchen? And they had just been sued for something. So he was very, very cautious. So he looked at me like, you ain't going to do nothing with that kitchen. What you going to do with that pretty face and walking up in here all sweet? You don't know nothing about no damn kitchen. Get your ass out of here. Basically, that's how he treated me. So I kept coming back. Because I knew if I got on Crenshaw, that if I built it, they would come, and I could help a lot of people. And this was right when What the Health came out. So I came back, and I softened him, and I said, and he said, okay. And I said, well, yeah, okay, good. How much? This dude told me $3,500. I was like, shit, okay.
Yeah.
Fine, bet. Let's do it. I mean, my people are worth that. And when I told him vegan food, he laughed in my face. And this dude thought that, so he took security first and last. The motherfucker took about $13,000 from me. And him and his partner had a bet that I would last 2 months.
Damn.
6 months later, it's lines wrapped around the building. TMZ been in there 3 times. I'm on Entertainment Tonight. I'm on this. I'm on that. And now they're mad at me.
Yeah.
They thought they was gonna take 12 G's from me and be like, and I was gonna be like, oh, I can't make it. Oh, okay. Thanks for the opportunity. He even told me that. He was like, this is too much. This is too much. We thought you was gonna do maybe, $200-300 a day and go home, but no, not you. I told you when I came in here that I was really famous and that the Black community wanted to know about vegan food and that I was a really good cook and that people were going to like my food and it was going to keep coming back. I told him, but he looked at me and thought that, I was a prima donna. And didn't know I'm a farm girl. I was raised a field hand. I was raised in the middle of a cornfield, and I've been cooking for large groups since I was, before adolescence. I was picking beans. I'm used. My first job was to wake the rooster.
Dang. Wake the rooster. Get your ass up.
That's metaphoric. But that's how hard. Yep. I've been working. So what I do right now, I guess it's super, super hard work, but I'll be in the middle of my day. I do 10, 12 hours easy. I'm backing off of it now. I'm not getting younger. I might be getting prettier.
Definitely beautiful.
Look at this rain bridge. But part of my diet, part of my diet keeps my skin, keeps my hair, keeps my smile, allows me to brush things off that I would otherwise be, giving somebody a piece of my mind. I'm able to give people my heart now. I'm able to check my temper. I still got a little bit of temper. I'm an only child that didn't have parents. So, and I was drugged up. I wasn't, a lot of Felicia is me. And that's why I was able to tap into her. A lot of the things that happened to me, I put into Felicia, and so she was loving, and she wanted to heal, and she wanted to take care of Debo. She saw Debo's flaws, and she never indicted him for it. And now I'm at a place in it's my vegan diet, and I have to share it with my people. I have to. It's a duty. It's how I pay my rent on Earth.
Beautiful.
I'm rambling now, but when you get to LA, when y'all come to LA, come to Jackfruit Cafe. I promise you, it'll blow you away. Everything. I have a shrimp. That if I gave it to you as a meat eater, you wouldn't know the difference. And you would be like, wow, this shrimp, you would say, this shrimp tastes clean. It's like a clean shrimp. It don't have that little bitter, sort of dirty taste. Mm-hmm. It's medicine. It's a konjac root. So it just cleans stuff up in your vital organs. It'll scrub stuff like blueberries do. And how melon just scrubs your liver, the little scrubs it. So Jackfruit Cafe is Y'all follow me because I leave little gems. Like I said, I can't do what Dr. Sabi did. I don't have a team of attorneys. I'm kind of open. I mean, you know, they heard a lot of, well, I'm not going to say that, but Jackfruit Cafe is really, really important to our people, and we're going to start shipping soon. I didn't go into it as an entrepreneur building an empire. I went into it as a stay-at-home mom that wanted to feed a bunch of elderly Black folks in the hood. And all of a sudden I land, you know, on the front page news, and I'm featured here and I'm featured there. And then all of a sudden I had to get up my entrepreneur game. Yeah. And I'm just now scaling. So I don't have to do, the 10 hours. I'm just now creating all the policies and really, and now I've started creating other concepts and other businesses that will be on the market for sale because I'm an expert now. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, I committed, I went for it, and I know what I'm doing. And I particularly know what I'm doing with vegan foods. And I know which foods you need when. But again, I can't make the same claims as Dr. Sabi, even though I'm doing the same work.
Well, I can't wait. We went to see visited Nipsey's store a couple years ago, and definitely paid homage. We wish we knew you were there because we definitely would have came down there. But we're gonna make it a priority to come check you out at Jackfruit Cafe. Oh. Looking very excited about that. What's the choice? The top thing on the menu over there?
So our specialty really is our soul plate, which is it's the jackfruit and any flavor you want, particularly the jerk. The jerk is house made. It's a fruit base, it's pineapple base, and I throw my little stank on it. Wow. And so I would say the jerk soul bowl, and it comes with the jasmine rice topped with black eyed peas. It's got collard greens. It's got my mac and cheese is fire. My mac and cheese is fire. And it comes with mac and cheese and cornbread, and it's topped with a plantain. And you be eating it, and you be like, why am I dancing like this? Look at my foot. Oh my God. People, some of the reviews that I've gotten, and some of the people that just love the food, and it really will blow your mind that we got hoodwinked into thinking that we have to have this salt pork and these ham hocks and all this stuff in our food. And then we thought we was doing something with the smoked turkey. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be healthy with the smoked turkey. You okay? You okay? Okay, you're gonna eat some. The reality is when you are eating a dead pig.
Yep.
That is the reality. And no matter if it's in the refrigerator, the freezer, whatever, the moment a living being with eyes and a consciousness and thoughts and memories die, the flesh starts decomposing. That's just it. So you're eating decomposing flesh. And it's acidic, and you can't digest it. You can't get it all out. So you got that decomposing flesh just laying inside little nooks and crannies. And it's the size of the head of a pin, but it's burning. It's acid, so it's burning and it's burning and it's burning. And then you start feeling all this discomfort. You get all these symptoms in your body saying, hey, something's wrong. Get some fruit and some melons and some berries in me. But no, we go to the medical community, and they give us more chemicals to mask the symptoms. Meanwhile, what's wrong is still wrong. You just don't feel the symptoms because now these chemicals have masked it, which you can't digest either. So now you got all these chemicals in you burning up your other vital organs, and you still have the decomposing flesh. And so then they say, "Ooh, it's cancer." But this is what happens. Your body says, "Ooh, this is crazy." something's crazy in here. All this bacteria, all this gook from lotions, from the environment, from the decomposing flesh, from the shit we ain't supposed to eat. So the body is so smart. God knew this machine is so beautiful. So the body does this. It protects itself. It says, you know what? All this gook, and it's piling up. And the gook goes to the weakest part of your body, whether it's the breast, whether it's your throat, whether it's your colon, whether it's your brain. It's gonna start piling up. And then the body goes, you know what? Encapsulate it, and it creates a tumor. So until it can figure out how to get the shit out. That's where zits come from. It's just all that mucus just trying to get out of you. When you stop drinking cow pus, your zits go away. Just like that. They just go away. There's no vegans walking around with acne because we don't have mucus in our body. Acne is just the pus from what you're eating trying to get out. So I've lost my train of thought. That was an analogy. What was I saying? I was on a roll too.
Yeah.
No, you were breaking.
The tumor. So then the body creates a tumor, and it's trying to figure out how. So then now you got this little lump. It's like, oh my God, I got a lump. Then you run to the doctor, and the doctor starts poking the lump. And the lump is like, stop poking me. I'm protecting you. Stop it. Stop poking me. I'm trying to figure this out. And the doctor says, oh, well, we did the biopsy. It's cancer. We're going to have to cut it. And the tumor's like, no, don't cut me. Just give me some blueberries and shrink me. But the doctor ain't going to give you no blueberries. The doctor's going to come in there and cut it. And then it's going to go. And then all the bacteria is going to come right back. When really all you had to do was eat. It is such a small amount of blueberries that you have to eat. Eat a handful of blueberries every day and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Eat your watermelon, eat your cantaloupe, eat your honeydew, and watch what happens. Watch what happens when you eat it. That's my story.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little comedy. If you just transition a little comedy, because a lot of people may not know, but you are a stand-up comedian. You do your thing on the stage. We're seeing a lot. You've seen Dave Chappelle talking about independence on stage and getting HBO Max and Netflix to take down the Chappelle show, because obviously he's not being paid for that at all, let alone correctly. We've seen Monique vouch for female entitlement when it comes to comedy. Just talk about that as a whole and those two dynamics, if you don't mind.
MTV came to me and asked me to host some little segment for a Friday reunion show, and they wanted Felicia to host it based on my comedy background and my ability to do it, and didn't want to pay me.
Damn.
And then they came back and said, well, will she work for $1,000? Will she work for $1,000? No. I'm not gonna work for $1,000. You're gonna give me $25K, or you're gonna get out my damn face. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, but you have advertisers that are gonna give you $1 million based on the work and my presence and my image and my words and my abilities and my talents. And you want me to do it for nothing? MTV, you want me to do it for nothing? And then got, with attitude. Because look, I'm the one that drove around the South to comedy clubs working for chicken wings and not getting paid and getting intimidated and getting heckled and writing material and walking around with this book and getting capped on and capping on people and jonesing on people. I did that. That wasn't easy. But I did that and I worked hard. I'm not giving it to MTV or nobody else. I'm not. It pissed me off, and it was right in the middle of what Monique was going through, and they vilified Monique for that. And then they told me that we had to talk about Friday, and I said, well, okay. Let me see how I can monetize this since y'all don't want to. And I told my agent, I said, well, tell them that they're going to have to put up the logo of Jackfruit Cafe, and we start with Jackfruit Cafe. And they said, absolutely not. That would be what's the conflict of interest for any of the ads that they might be running. And, at that point, they had all my ass to kiss.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Did you ever, would you ever, I should say, the last installment of Friday, have you been contacted about that? Is that still going on? Know anything about that?
At John's funeral, which was probably one of the most entertaining funerals I've ever been to.
Wow.
There was a lot of tears, but there was so much laughter.
Yeah.
Sean Wayans during that funeral out. He was amazing. David Letterman started the funeral. I was never contacted by the production company ever, and I still haven't after 25 years. I've never heard from any of them. Felicia, I was in their eyes. I was Felicia. I guess I brought it but I was Felicia. If you saw the video that they did afterwards, some of California, it was something where they hijacked the plane. Every single cast member was invited except Felicia. Yeah. So, my agent, she always like, that's their video. That's their video. What you gonna do? That's their video. And people like, how you feel about not being in the second Friday? I mean, that's that man's movie. That's not my movie. I'm gonna feel some kind of way. That's that man's movie. But at the funeral, Cube told us what was going on, and it's New Line Cinema holding up the project. But it's so fucked up that we got Friday the 13th. Where are they at on Friday the 13th? They had Friday the 13th, 15th. They had Friday the 15th now.
Motherfucker 200 years old, so make a movie.
Right? But they can make a horror film year after year after year. Right. But a comedy that makes everyone feel good has to jump through all these hoops. And the community has been begging for it. They've been begging for another Friday for 20 fucking years. And you tell me that New Line can't put a project out for the community that they built their company on? New Line Cinema built their company off of Black projects. Then they hit the big mainstream projects and forgot about us. There should have been a Friday every fucking year. There should have been a Friday. We should be at Friday 25 right now. And the next installment, the last one should have been everyone going to Pop's funeral. And the new film should be everyone going to Debo's funeral. Because these people are real. These were real people. They're not caricatures. These are real people, and it's a real slice of Los Angeles. And the reason that the project resonated so much was because these people were so real.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you give New Line Cinema? Why couldn't you give us more? Why couldn't you give our community more of this? Couldn't you show this? Why not on a continuous basis? Why? You owe us that. They owe us to tell us why they let this project die and they let all of these characters die. They're letting them die. Why? I want to know why. I want to know why. And I know, that project ain't gonna never get done. That project is nothing now. There's no Friday without Pops. Yeah. There's no Friday without Debo. Yeah. Not the kind of Friday that they were talking about doing with the original cast and where the original cast is now, unless the whole film is going to be in the cemetery. With Rev, the other dad dead, Ronaldo Ray is dead, John Witherspoon is dead, Yvette is dead, Michael Clark Duncan is dead.
Yep. Damn.
That project is dead. And New Line Cinema murdered it.
Wow.
So I was going to ask you, your beef and gripe wasn't with Ice Cube, but more so New Line Cinema.
No. Oh God, no. I have only high regard for Cube. Cube,
Okay.
I'm grateful. Look, I'm. You want to talk to me now? You're talking to me. You're popular. You could talk to anybody, but you want to talk to me. And one of the reasons is because of a project that Ice Cube produced. I can't look at what I don't have. I have to look at what I do have, and what I do have is I portrayed an iconic character, and I can never say, fuck Cube. Cube didn't do enough for me.
Yeah.
Shit is that. Cube did good by me. Hey, I could have used a little bit more money. I could have used John was right about the pay. I could use a little bit more money. But look, it gave me a voice, and it gave me the ability to go get my money.
Right.
So now I ain't got no gripes with Cube, with Pooh, with the production company. It's New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema can eat a dick. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the saying a few years ago called "Bye Felicia"? Do you hear people saying that a lot?
Yeah. What?
You ever think about trademarking that if you could?
No, I didn't. I did try to and it was a small attempt. It really wasn't like get me Cube on the phone now, and I'm not gonna stop until I talk to Cube. I did a little attempt to see if there was anything there, and our people just couldn't connect, and because I didn't know what it was. I was no longer in show business. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to do with it. I absolutely didn't know what it was. It was a conversation I had with a friend of mine. He called me, and when we got off the phone, he was like, "Bye, Felicia." And I was like, "Oh, nigga, you anxious? What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Ange, Bye, Felicia is trending." Then I was like, "What's that?" He goes, "He was ancient." And he said, "Do you have a Twitter account?" And I was like, "I didn't even have a Twitter account." He stayed on the phone with me. He said, "No, I got to." He said, "Get your Twitter account. Do a Twitter account." He said, "On the phone with me, I got the Twitter account." He said, "Now put in the search, Bye Felicia." It was like every second. It was probably like thousands every second. Bye Felicia, hashtag Bye Felicia. I was like, and then I got scared. I was so scared. I was so scared. I thought that I knew that, I get backlash. People, there's bullies in the world. People bullied Felicia. People wanted to bully Felicia. People wanted to say nasty things to Felicia. I had to protect my son. I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I did have my people try to reach out to Cube to see if he wanted to, I was letting him know if there was some way that we could, what is this? Do you want to talk about this? I just wanted to pick his brain. It wasn't so much, hey, let's do a project. It was, how do I manage this? What do I do with this? He put out a Bye Felicia t-shirt. He didn't put Felicia in it. It was just him. But again, that's that man's that's that man's t-shirt. But I was thinking, damn, we could have did this.
Threw you in there, gave you $4 or something. We seem to be having some technical difficulties with Miss Means right now. We'll get her back on momentarily on the podcast. Hip Hop Podcast. Hour in to a phenomenal interview right now. Very excited. Miss Means, if you can hear us, we're having some technical difficulties. Can you hear us? All right, maybe she'll drop out and come back in, man. Oh God, man, this is a great interview, man. Definitely enjoying it.
I know the people definitely gonna enjoy this joint, man. We put it up on the podcast, and you know, we always telling you guys, man, smash that 5-star rating and make sure that you share this, you know, out with a lot of different people. It's very easy. You can copy the link and then share it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Make sure you share this interview because this is legendary. A lot of people don't realize this, man. We grew up.
Yeah.
You know, this video molded a lot of the sayings, a lot of the way that we moved in life. So this is huge, man.
It's so huge, man. I'm so happy we had this interview. It was delayed. We were supposed to have it Monday, but it was well worth the wait. Hopefully we'll have her back on momentarily. She seemed to drop out, and I think she has it now. We'll drop back in. But yeah, man, we talking about from Mr. Witherspoon to Mr. Lister, who just passed away, to Natalie DeSalle. Mr. Sell just passed away. And just Friday, like you said, such an iconic pop culture movie for Black children, just Black culture in general. It's just phenomenal what we're seeing right now, man. I'm definitely honored to do this, man. It's dope.
Yeah, and remember we was in contact with Mr. Lister.
Yeah, we were.
Before he passed away. So, yeah, what do you think, though, about the last Friday? You think they can pull it off now?
No, I think she's 100% right, and it hit home. And when you talk about, I mean, you could still get deep. I mean, you could still get Chris Tucker. You could still get Ice Cube. You could still get Mike Epps and get all them together. But without Pops, without Willie Jones there, and without Debo there, it's just not going to be the same. But we got Miss Means back on.
Yes, sir.
She seems to be here. Hey, can you hear her?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
So
I must have been saying something I wasn't supposed to be saying.
They cut you out. Nah,
right. that was God. That was an act of God. I think we were talking about Q. Who I what's happening? Okay, no, we're good. Who I definitely hold in the highest regard. He's bigger than life. He's everything. And when I saw him at John's funeral, I was like, God damn, Cube's fine. That's all I could think when I looked in his face. I wasn't thinking about no project. Cube is fine, and Cube is fine as fuck in person. Don't get it twisted. He's just the way that he's aging, like the zooms and the stuff when he comes on does not do him justice. If you see him in person, he is like,
Hey, ladies, if y'all hear that, listen, this means we two grown ass heterosexual men over here, but hey, ladies, y'all listen to Miss Means and y'all listen to Clip. Fuck all that. But listen.
Yeah, but I haven't missed out on anything. I mean, not being contacted by them. I mean, I haven't missed out on anything. I've had a great time this last 25 years being a football mom, being at home, learning things, trying new things, traveling, healing, a lot of childhood trauma, healing from. Being calm, being peaceful, trying to be calm, trying to be peaceful, trying to heal. I haven't missed anything. My life is yummy. It's yummy. It up and down and up and down, and everything that has come to me, everything good that has come to me I'm grateful for, and everything bad that came to me, I'm extremely grateful for, because it was supposed to happen. The way I look at it is, everything is energy, and all of the good stuff is just traveling around. It's all energy. Oh, you got booked for a lead. Oh, you got this, and it's all just energy. And then it sucks to you. But that energy could have went to anybody, because it's not about me. It's about the part. It's about Felicia. So the energy of Felicia found its way to me, just like the trauma that I've experienced. That was supposed to happen, whether it happened to me or somebody else. So I can't say, "Whoa, me, pour me another one." That event was supposed to happen. And it was going to happen whether it happened to me or someone else. It just so happened that it was me, and I cannot personalize it and take it personal. It was just something that happened to me that was going to happen anyway, if that makes sense. And that's how we have to look at, particularly us, our community. Don't let the light skin fool you. Your eyes nigger.
Yeah.
We have to heal. And the best way to do that, particularly from childhood trauma, and a lot of us have it. And what we do is we remember it. But we remember it through the eyes of the 4-year-old, through the eyes of the 6-year-old, through the eyes of the 12-year-old. And we continue to assess what happened to us as that 6-year-old, as opposed to looking at it and feeling what happened as a mature 40-year-old, as a mature 50-year-old, because we're still affected by the childhood trauma, us in particular, well into our 60s. And we can find peace if we remember to look at this trauma as adults and look back at it as adults and be honest with what actually happened and the selfishness of others and the mismanagement of others. It's not for us to embrace. It's for us to accept and then be grateful. Don't be mad you didn't get in next Friday. Be grateful you was in the greatest Friday.
Yeah, it's a fact.
That's simple. And then you just go be happy. But I still got a temper, and what pisses me off is when people lack effort or people don't help each other, and people let other people fall through cracks and let other people fall due to selfishness. That pisses me off, and I could lose my temper over stuff like that. And when people don't come together collectively, I've lost my temper more than once with people who suggest that they care about the culture, and I give them an opportunity to work for the culture, and then they come with some bullshit. They want to come late. They want to complain. They want to treat me like their mother that they haven't healed the relationship from, and that sort of thing does piss me off, and that's one of the major things that I'm working on with Angela is my temper. It's not, it can be looked at as a lot of different things, mental health or whatever. It's just a good old fashioned temper. Yeah. And veganism has helped me a lot with it. But I'm just grateful and try to stay as humble as I possibly can, because it feels good. It feels good. It feels so good to just be humble and let the game come to you and think, oh, look what I got. My shop is in a place called Colony, and what's happening right now is ghost kitchens, and it's the future. Cloud kitchens, smart kitchens. Ours is called a smart kitchen facility, and you come inside and you order off of an iPad, and you get a customer experience. There's seating, but you order off an iPad, and you can order from all 25 restaurants in one order. We're one of the 25 inside of Colony, and Colony has been painted as one of. See, I always land at the top. That's why I said I'm Forrest Gump. Mm-hmm. I went from Def Jam. I went from a standing ovation at the Apollo to Def Jam, one of the greatest projects in the history of entertainment, black or white. Then I go to an iconic project on Nickelodeon. Then Friday. Now and a lot of other things along the way that I just landed at the top. I think it's my heart, but Colony has been deemed one of the best smart kitchen facilities on the face of the planet. It is so well run. It's so beautiful. The facility is so beautiful. The restaurants that are inside of it are amazing, and my little old company, the vegan cafe that could, is in the best smart kitchen in the country.
Yeah.
Blessing.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and by the way, I got kicked out of the donut shop within 6 months. They said it's too much. It's too much. You got to go. End of the month, you out of here. And I didn't want to fight with them, and I didn't want to put our people in any harm's way, because they were pretty aggressive about getting me out of there. They didn't like all the people that were coming. So I can't be mad about that. And I wasn't. I was like, hey, bet, deuces. I'm out. And I just kept stepping with my Forrest Gump mentality. Run, Angie, run. And I landed back up at the top. And I landed with the two owners are 30 years old. They broke ground on Colony. They were 28. They're Olympic swimmers.
No.
And they're the address is my birthday. I was a swimmer, and it's one of my traumas not being able to swim. And the hallway inside of Colony is a long, it looks like a lap. It looks like a lane. And when we first started, Jackfruit Cafe is one of the top performers in Colony. And I remember coming down that long hallway that looks like a lap pool, and all these Olympic swimmers being at the end of that hallway, like, here she go. And yes, I didn't get to swim in the Olympics, but I got to feel what it's like to have an Olympic teammate.
Beautiful.
So I can't be hateful and mad that I didn't get to swim in the Olympics. I'm so grateful for that moment. And they're all fine. They're all gorgeous. And I can draw from that. I can draw from, and I feel like every time I came down that hallway, like I was swimming in the Olympics. Man. And I got to feel it. My teammates are Olympic swimmers.
Beautiful. We definitely appreciate all the wealth of knowledge we just received.
Absolutely.
I got my final question would be to you, the importance of media and supporting Black media. You talked about the culture a lot throughout our hour plus conversation. And we see a lot of negativity going on throughout media, in particular when it comes to Black personalities within media. But we see you coming on a platform like ours and seeing more celebrities go on independent platforms, and it's such a breath of fresh air. Talk about the importance of that.
Well, I just think it's important for Black people to support Black people. And we create culture. We're the most talented people on the face of the planet. And because of the abuse and the oppression, we became competitors to get out of this poor situation. And we thought that we had to get out of the situation, when really, we have to embrace each other. You ain't gonna never hear a Korean say, I don't fuck with them Koreans. You ain't gonna never hear a Jew say, I don't fuck with them Jews. You'll hear a Black person say, I don't fuck with Black people. And I don't have the answer to a media question, because I don't even know what TV shows are on, to tell you the truth. I don't know what movie is out. You are giving Angela Means a platform to tell the world how much I love Tiny Lister, and how great he was. And you're letting me mourn him publicly in front of your audience. But it just goes hand in hand. You have to support Black fashion. You have to support Black food. You have to support Black music. And you know what else you have to do? you can't judge. Like you can't say the WAP is bad. You can't say that they shouldn't do that. You can't say that they're not being ladylike. You can't say that. You have to celebrate them because that's how they're expressing themselves. And we as Black people have to say, well, it ain't what I would say, but go on, girl. You're the number one record in the nation. So that's we have to stop being competitors, and we have to show up. And we do. I feel like we do. We show up. And we've got, they hide our numbers. Mainstream hides our numbers. They were hiding our numbers for a long time, not financing Black projects. Black projects make money, and they have been. And they were hiding the fact that Black projects make money. But some things that they would do is, you go to the premieres of Black projects, and they would give you a ticket to the white movie that was next door, so it would mess with the sales and the numbers. But Black projects have always been supported. I mean, we need to be entertained. Nothing makes a Black person laugh harder than Friday. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I had a choice to go see Friday or go see their Friday, I'm going to our Friday. Oh, if I just, how we see a movie and there's one Black person in the movie and they're the star to us. They're a movie, right? So I don't think we have any other choice. And I think that, it's just because we know what entertainment is. It takes a lot to entertain us. So we need to see us because, again, we're the greatest entertainers on the face of the planet. We create culture. We create fashion. We create all this stuff. We create content, So we don't have any other choice but to support ourselves. If we want to be entertained the way we want to be entertained. We used to say something on the circuit, in comics, Black folks, you have to come with it. For Black audience, you damn near have to set yourself on fire with some tambourines and in some flip flops and a fly swatter doing cartwheels. Mm-hmm. You got to come with it. Whereas, a mainstream audience, you can come with, I'm not dissing mainstream comedy, but you cannot tell me that if there's a Def Jam on HBO and it's urban, is niggas telling jokes. Yep. You can't tell me that niggas ain't gonna watch that and they're gonna watch the comedy show on MTV. Mm-hmm. It's just we support us just because that's what we prefer. So when you say Black media, maybe I didn't answer it properly, but we beg for projects and we support all of them, whether we're doing it bootleg or not. I don't think we've wrapped it around our brains that when you go buy this ticket, you literally help us. But hey, Black folks is watching Black projects.
Absolutely, definitely. I appreciate your perspective, guy. You got definitely appreciate your time, Miss Angela Means, the beautiful Miss Angela Means. Sorry it was on such a somber note with Mr. Lister obviously passing away a couple of days ago. We still appreciate your candidness, your time, and just your beautiful way you reflected. Thank you very much. Is there anything, your lasting remarks before we conclude the interview? The floor is yours.
Felicia loves Debo forever.
Powerful.
Okay, bye, Felicia.
Miss Angela Means on the podcast. Y'all salute. Hit that like button at 5-star rating. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.